But you got to be
Okay.
honest with yourself that you are evil. You are pure evil. There's nothing good about you.
I know. I know that there are good things about me, but they're
No,
covered up with the things you just
no,
described.
there's nothing good about you. You're no damn good.
Well,
Teresa, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
hi, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm having trouble. I had a serious question I wanted to stick in your meeting today.
Okay.
About 25 years ago, my husband passed away. I had 3 daughters, and they all seemed to had lost their way and couldn't wait to leave the home, and ended up getting themselves in a lot of trouble. And now, after all these years, they're turning 40, 45, 30. That one still has not come around. But the other 2, they're starting to come around and wanting to be in my life and telling me how sorry they are. And I do forgive them, but I don't know how to carry on forward with them.
When they say they want to be in your life, in what way?
Well, they want to come over. They come over every once in a while and visit. They're calling me a lot more. They're not asking for advice or anything. They just want me to know that they love me, and after all these years. And I know that, but I don't know how to move forward and never bring it up again, or just act like it never happened and accept everything and just keep still.
Act like
I
what
don't know what
never
to do.
happened. Act like what never happened.
That they abandoned the family and left to wreak havoc, I guess you might
Oh,
say.
I see.
hmm
And your question for me is what?
How do I get all the past out of my mind that they have done to me and said to me, and carry on as if it didn't happen?
Oh, okay.
How do I how do
You
I do
do
that?
that by apologizing to them for imposing your will on them when they were young and causing them to become angry, and let them know that you apologize, you were wrong for doing that, and hopefully they can forgive you for that. And once you apologize for what you've done, God will forgive you, and He would take the spirit of anger away from you, because anger is hatred, hatred is judgment and fear and all that. And so once you do that, you stop judging yourself and them when you apologize for screwing them up that caused them to leave home and go out and do the things they have done because they're angry at you and they're yearning for their father.
Yes, but how can they blame me for their father's death?
Will they blame you for turning them away from their father by imposing your anger upon them, trying to make them be what you wanted them to be, by having a lack of love and a lack of patience with them while they were growing up? You need to apologize for those things.
Okay.
And so
Now they seem to be angels all through their raising.
yeah.
So
Well,
this
they're,
seems like as soon as he died, everything went away and everybody lost their minds.
how old were they when he expired?
One was 8, one was 14, and one was 15.
Yeah. Well, when they lost their father like that, the light went out and the hell in you came was turned up and you caused them to become angry. Do you realize that? And it was, I can imagine that was hard on you raising 3 girls. You need a father that'll show you how to do it. But you need to apologize for trying to force them to be the way you thought they should be.
Oh, see, okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
What makes sense about that? What do you see about that?
Well, my husband was a very abusive man,
Abusive?
and yes, he was.
Eh,
He was very abusive, and
to whom?
I to me, and then it did spur off to the children.
Yeah. It was hard for him to deal with the hell in you?
No, he was gone. He was a truck driver. He was gone every he'd come home every 2 weeks or so, and I was on my own raising the kids then even.
And you would give him hell when you come home?
Oh, no, we were, like, he did a lot of bad things, and I forgive him every time.
Were you
And
abusive to
then,
him?
no,
You were
no, I was.
perfect? You made no mistakes with him?
I didn't have time to make any because he was making them all the time.
So you
And I
made
was always forgiving him and trying to get along and love him.
and you made no
And
mistakes with him?
I, I don't know. I don't know.
You didn't
Maybe I couldn't be perfect, so I had to have.
you
Yeah.
weren't you weren't trying to make him be what you wanted him to be?
No, I accepted him the way he was and just sat through all his sins. That he would come home with drugs. Next time it would be drinking. Next time it would be prostitution. Next time it would be something else.
And so
And
if
at the
that's
end,
true, why did you stay with him?
I felt like I didn't have any way out. And then once he started going on the road, it kind of let me forget a lot. But then after we made up from his last sin, which was prostitution, he told me he loved me and he was sorry. And then 3 months later, we lived a perfect life. And then 3 months later, he was dead.
Did you were you angry at him for the things he was doing?
I would mostly cry and be hurt. I
Were you
didn't.
were you angry at him for the things he was doing?
I was hurt. No, I
What,
was hurt and sad and crying and very upset at that end of the spectrum.
and
There was.
were you angry at him for the things he was doing? The prostitution and drugs
It
and
was just
whatever.
unbelievable. It was just unbelievable that he would do that and one thing after another.
And were you angry at him for the things he was doing?
Well, I didn't know what he was doing. He would come home and tell me.
And when he told
And then
you, did it make you angry?
no, it made me cry.
And were you crying because you were angry?
No, I was crying because I was hurt and devastated that the one I loved would keep doing stuff.
And
I was
could
just
you,
devastated.
is it possible to be hurt without being angry first?
Yes, it is. I believe it is.
It's possible to be hurt without being angry?
I think so where I'm coming from, but I don't know.
How is it possible to be hurt without being angry first?
Because it comes from the heart right away.
So you didn't get angry at him at all for what he was doing?
No, maybe I should have, huh?
No, you did get angry. That's what hurt you because you were judging him.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
So you don't see yourself. You don't see what you've done to your daughters. You don't see
I
that.
do.
You don't see.
I do.
What
Go
do you
ahead.
see that you have done to them?
I may have pushed. I wanted them to stay home with me and grow up and go to college, go to this, go to that, and get them cars. They were 17. I'd get them cars and get them going, try to get them to get a job and work. And they didn't want that. I think they were looking for their father's love somewhere out in the
Of
world.
course, all men and women, adult and young, looking for a father's love. But was that wrong or right for you to impose that upon them?
It was wrong.
Have you apologized for that to them?
No, I have not.
Why not?
I never really dwelled on that aspect of it until I'm speaking to you today.
I understand. And why haven't you looked at yourself rather than just judging them? Why haven't you looked to see what you did?
Well, what do you mean what I did? Like, I didn't bring strange men home after he died, and I didn't bring other men in the household. I didn't go out drinking. I never went to bars. I didn't do any of that stuff. So,
But yet you imposed your will upon them, tried to make them do and be what you wanted them to do and be. You tried to live through them, and they rejected that.
Yeah.
And the more they rejected it, the worse you got, trying to impose your will on them.
Yeah. Well,
And that's
now
worse than bringing a man home.
when you say put my will on them,
Yeah.
I didn't set expectations for them. I laid them a path and said, this is how it should be. This is what people do.
But you don't have a right to do that. You weren't even following the path. Those were your ideas that, and not the right way, and you tried to make them go your way, which was the wrong way, and they rebelled against it because they became angry at you. And once they became angry, they became just like you.
Yeah. And now that they're coming back to me, the apologies will happen. But what else? What else will secure this so that I have them and I know that they love me and I love them and that we'll be together?
You don't need to know that they love you. You just need to know that you love them. And the way you love them is by not being angry at them, but understand that they rebelled against you because you imposed your evil will upon them. And they became angry. Their father was gone, so they're yearning for the father. They didn't have the father there to help them protect you from destroying them. So once you apologize for what you have done, you'll be fine. If they forgive, fine, that's on them. If they don't, fine, but let them go on and live their lives and you stay out of it.
Yeah, even when they fall, though, they fall, and I can't do anything. I can't say, don't do that anymore.
Right.
So you don't fall next time.
Right.
They won't allow that.
That's right. You stop playing God with them. Now that they're adults, they need to find their own way back to the Father, which is within them. You need to stop trying to play God and save them. You can't save them. You can't even save yourself because you're not even paying attention to the hell that's in you.
Mm-hmm.
You need to just focus on yourself now, overcome the hell, forgive your mother for recreating you in her image, forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother. God will forgive you, and you need to just let your adult children go out and live their lives and suffer until they're ready to overcome their hell. There's nothing you can do. You can't prevent them from falling down. Every time you try to prevent it, you're adding to it.
Yeah. So the best advice is just to keep still.
Yes. Work on you and let them work on themselves. You work on, is your mother still living?
No, both parents have passed away.
Well, work on you. Forgive your mother for recreating you in her image because your daughters have the same hate for you that you have for your mother.
But I never hated my mother.
Yes, you did. That's why why do you think you became like your mother?
I don't know. I don't think I'm like my mother except for the backwardness and the shyness and the wanting to be isolated. That's the only part my mother has given me.
Right. You're just like your mother.
No.
You're like, oh, no, I'm not like my mother. Oh, no, except for the backwardness and the shyness. That is your mother in you. That's not you.
Yeah, and how do I get her out of there? Just tell her I forgive her, and then she understands, and then the feelings will go away.
But she did. She did.
Yeah, I know.
But what you do, you realize that you cannot help, you couldn't help yourself but destroy your girls, right? Because this anger was controlling you. The fear, the anger was controlling you, right?
I'd say fear and anger both at the same time.
Right. And you can help yourself but do what you did to them. Likewise, your mother couldn't help but do that to you. And if you can understand you could not help yourself, it will cause you to realize your mother couldn't help herself, and you will forgive your mother since she's dead. You will forgive her, and God will forgive you. And He would take your mother's spirit away from you, which is evil, and allow you to become yourself again. And all that fear and anger and shyness, and it will all be taken away from you because it's evil. It comes from anger.
Yes, I agree. Thank you.
And so your mother couldn't help herself, just as you could not help yourself. So you need to bring your daughters together and let them know I was wrong. I'm sorry. I imposed my anger upon you guys, my will. I was wrong. I've done to you what my mother did to me, but I didn't realize it at the time, and I'm sorry. And if they accept it, fine. If they don't, fine. But they only did to you what you did to them, as you did to them what your mother did to you. It's just, and this angry, evil cycle goes on from generation to generation until somebody dropped the anger.
Yeah. And me living here by myself has put me in charge of my emotions, and I can spot when something is trying to make me cry. I can spot when something is coming at me. I can spot it. I can feel it.
Yes.
And I test spirits.
No, all you need to
Christ is your Savior.
as long as you keep eye on that, to not you. All those evil spirits that made a home in you, in your mind and emotions, are not you. Those are every human being is possessed with those spirits, and that's why God said that's what God means, that we must be born again. We got to overcome those spirits, those old natures, that old nature, and become of God. So all you need to do is watch it. Watch those thoughts and feelings when they make you think and feel those up or down, good or bad or whatever, right? All you need to do is watch it, and the Spirit of the Father will save you from it. He will take all that away from you.
Yes.
But you got to be honest with yourself that you are evil. You are pure evil. There's nothing good about you.
I know that there are good things about me, but they're covered up with the things you just described.
There's nothing good about you. You're no damn good.
Well, I'm going to make myself better than this today from this day on. Thank you.
And when you can be honest with yourself, you don't have to tell anybody else you don't want to. You confess it between you and God. I am evil. I see all these evil spirits in me. I'm pure evil. And when you see it and don't judge yourself because it's not you, then the light, you're giving the light of God permission to take over and destroy that evil nature, which is not your own.
Which came down through my mother, through
right on
to generational.
Yeah, it came through Eve's daughters. All women are daughters of Eve until they return to the Father. So just apologize to your daughters. I now realize I was angry. I was I had fear, and I imposed that evil upon you guys. That's why y'all hate me, because of what I've done. I hope that you can forgive me so you can be free. But you can't make them forgive you. If they do, fine. They don't owe an apology for what they have done to you. They should apologize for hating you because they have become just like you. But you're fortunate that you live by yourself now, so you can totally focus on overcoming evil.
Right. Exactly. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Focusing on everything that was bad that needs to stay away.
Yeah. And so are you doing the silent prayer? Are you familiar with the silent prayer?
I looked it up when I saw it on your show, and I did practice it once, but I find that I'm already regularly doing that.
No.
It just happened on its own that I do that silent.
Well, you're not doing it regularly. You didn't even know you had all this hell in you.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. We're going to fix that baby right now. We're going to fix it and get this stuff out of here.
Yes. So do the
If I
silent.
don't,
I'm sorry?
go ahead.
If you don't what?
If I don't stay focused, anything can still come right back.
Yes.
And people need to know that too.
Yes. So that's why you're right about that. You want to stay present. And you're staying present as to what is going on inside of you. Instead of being in your head thinking about the past or the future, which doesn't exist. You want to be present with God. He's always right here, right now, all the time. He's not in the illusion of a past. So do the silent prayer. Watch those thoughts. Don't do anything else but watch them. Don't identify with them anymore. Don't call them you. And I'm telling you, Teresa, your life will be amazing. So to sum it up, you apologize to your children for imposing your will on them, and they became angry at you, and you're sorry about that. You didn't realize what you were doing, and God will forgive you. And ask them, encourage them. They need to forgive you so that they don't do to their children what has happened to them. And even if they don't have children, they can be free. They don't have to live in anger like that. And do your little hoop and hollering prayer, but do the silent prayer, www.silentprayer.video, every morning and night, and practice keeping your mind where your body, and just watch the evil spirits inside of you. Every human being are filled with evil spirits until they see it and overcome it. And so just watch them and don't call them you anymore. The anger, the fear, the thoughts, they're not you. And I'm telling you, I promise you, God will take them away from you.
Yes.
All right?
Yes, that's good. But can I just add one thing before we go?
Yes.
Every thought that comes into your mind is not from God, and you have to remember that.
Right.
The thoughts can be stopped if you simply catch your mind thinking them and ask it to leave, asking those negative thoughts or even good thoughts.
You don't need to ask them to leave. You just need to watch them, and the light of God will take them away. There's no such thing as a good thought either.
Yeah. Well, it could be right. There's no such thing as a good thought, because some thoughts can come in that are going to lead you to think this, and then the next thing you know, that thought takes you to 5 other things, and then your head is full.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. That's just why I want to make sure. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you. God bless you, and take care, and I thank you for all that you've done, and keep up the good work. And I'll always be watching and fighting my battle, and we'll get to the grace of God at any moment.
Yeah, just stay with us. All you need, again, I just want to remind you that all you need to do is watch the thoughts. And in watching it, it's the light of God that's destroying the darkness, right? Thoughts are dark, they're evil. And there's nothing more that you can or need to do. And you're letting the light of God fight the spiritual battle for you. Just watch it. Don't call it good or bad. Don't identify with them anymore. Don't call that anger you, because it's an evil spirit. It's not you. All right?
Okay.
All right. Let me know how it goes, Teresa. I wish you well.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Bye now.